we're here just outside of the bandstand where the free speech rally is slated to take place. And you can see this huge, massive crowd gathering behind me. These are actually members that would be identified as the counter-protesters, the people that came here to speak out against the Boston free speech rally, against what they feel are the messages of hate. We see a lot of signs here against Nazis, against the KKK. We've seen anti-fascist groups walking through with signs saying they're anti-fascist, self-identifying as anti-fascist. Some people are wearing masks. This crowd is enormous. The much smaller crowd is the crowd that actually got the permit to hold the rally here today in the center of the Parkman bandstand. This is a historic bandstand that has previously been used by the likes of major civil rights figures in the past. Today, the Boston Free Speech Rally is holding their rally there. As you can see, a much smaller presence surrounded by the counter-protesters. There's also a heavy police presence. You can see the police there on bicycles moving through. There are some 500 law enforcement officers across the city today in response to these two rallies in an effort to keep things peaceful here on the streets of Boston and here on the Common. Now, Steve Harrigan has been over at that counter-protest, the organized counter-protest that was slated to march from Roxbury to arrive here at the Common, and there was an effort put in place to keep these two groups apart. But as you can see, the only thing keeping them apart right now are these barricades set up. There's this huge swath of green grass and the police there surrounding the Boston Free Speech Rally, and then the rest of the protesters, the counter-protest here surrounding and gathering here on the Common. Now, speaking with the organizers of the Free Speech Rally, they say they have absolutely nothing to do with white supremacy or the Nazis, and they're very concerned really with constitutional rights and free speech. They know that their speakers, their initial list of speakers was very controversial and did include at least one speaker that did speak at that Charlottesville rally, but that speaker will not be here today. Instead, there are other speakers that are anticipated to be here, people like Kyle Chapman. He became an internet meme, a viral sensation for breaking a stick over the back or the head of an anti-Trump protester. So they do have very controversial speakers, which is why the city of Boston was so concerned, why the mayor and the governor chose to speak out against hate speech. They argue that today should be about unity in the city of Boston, and the hope is that today is a very peaceful day, and that's why this immense police presence. Looking at this huge crowd behind me, we have seen this crowd grow and grow and grow.
All right, enjoy the rest of your day.
And as you can see here, some of the police just moving through the crowd. There's also a tremendous amount of media from all over the world keeping an eye on this demonstration, on these counter demonstrations. We've seen people from Germany, media from Germany, as well as people from across the Commonwealth coming. This has really drawn a tremendous amount of response. The counter-protest was expected to gather 10, 20, up to 30,000 people. The Boston Free Speech Rally, they said, could bring hundreds perhaps, but they do have a limiting permit. So we'll see how big or small that crowd actually becomes. That rally is not slated to begin until noon, so there's still time for folks to gather there. Trish?
All right, let's hope it stays very peaceful. Thank you so much, Molly.